Hello friends, I am Dr. Suchita Korke, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Vinayak Vignan Mahavidyalaya. Today I am going to discuss the topic pollination. Dear students, as we know that majority of the flowering plant is reproduces by sexual reproduction, that is by seed formation, and the sexual reproduction is incomplete without fertilization. Before fertilization, there are lot of processes are involved in the plants, and out of which pollination is a very important process which leads the fertilization. So before going to discuss the pollination, we know the structure of the flower, or we study the structure of flower. The structure of flower is made up of, or the flower is made up of four important parts: calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Out of which calyx and corolla is called as the accessory word, and androecium and gynoecium is called as the necessary word or the essential word, because it plays important role in the pollination and fertilization. If we analyze the portion of this stamen or the androecium, the stamen is made up of a tubular filament on which the anther lobes are located. Inside this anther lobe, pollen grains are present. When the anther matures, the anther lobe splits up and pollen grains are dehiscent, and these pollen grains are transferred on the stigma of the mature flower. So pollination is defined as the transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of the flower. There are two types of pollination: self-pollination and cross-pollination. In the self-pollination, transfer of pollen grain from the anther of the stigma of the same flower or the another flower of the same plant. So that pollination is called as the self-pollination. Example is Argemone mexicana. And the second time, that is cross-pollination, it is the transfer of pollen grain from an anther of one flower to the stigma of another flower of the another plant, that is called as the cross-pollination. Example is the Michelia champaka. So the self-pollination is again divided into two types: autogamy and vitennogamy. In the autogamy, the self-pollination, pollen grains of an anther are transferred to the stigma of the same flower. Naturally, this type of pollination occurs in the bisexual flowers. Example is the pea and the wheat. In the first diagram, you can see here the transfer of pollen grain of an same flower to the stigma of the same flower. Then second type is the geitonogamy. It is the transfer of pollen grain from the anther to the stigma of another flower but of the same plant. So on the plant there are number of flowers are present, and in that flower this geitonogamy type of self-pollination occurs. So for the self-pollination, plant adapt themselves to for the successive self-pollination, the plant adapt themselves for. The first type is the homogamy. In this type, the anther and the stigma of the flower matures at the same time. So therefore, this type of pollination favors the self-pollination. Example is Vinca rosea and the mirabilis. Then second type is the cleistogamy. In this type, the flower never opens. Thus, there is a chances of self-pollination. And in such a type of flowers, the self-pollination is carried out in a bud condition. Example is the viola and the oxalis plant. So there are advantages of this self-pollination. The first is the parental characters are preserved indefinitely in the self-pollination, and the flowers need not to be large, not attractive, and there is no need of any fragrance in the flower. There is a least wastage of pollen grain, and genetic stability can be maintained in the progeny. So with the advantage, there are some disadvantages of the self-pollination. Continuous self-pollination leads to weaker progeny, and seed production or the seed which are produced through this self-pollination are poor in quality, and origin of new species is not possible in the self-pollination. Then there are adaptation for the cross-pollination. The first is the unisexuality. In the unisexuality, if the male and the female flowers are born on the single plant, then that plant is called as the monoecious, and this type of plant or flower favors the cross-pollination. Example is the cucurbita. Then second condition, when the male and female flowers are born on the different plants, they are called as the dioecious, and in that condition also favors the cross pollination. The example is the papaya. As we know that papaya having the male and the female plants are different. Then self sterility, it is the condition where the stigma of the flower is sterile for the pollen grains of the same flower. And in that case, if the pollen grains fall in it or fall on it, the stigma, they are unable to bring about the fertilization. So that condition is called as the self-sterility. And so the pollen grain of that flower depends upon the another flower for the pollination. Therefore, it also favors the cross-pollination. Examples are many grasses and orchids. Adaptation of for cross-pollination, the next step is the dichogamy. In many bisexual flowers, there is the anther and stigma matures at the different times. That means this condition is known as the dichogamy. There are two conditions in dichogamy. Protogamy, in which the gynoecium matures first the pollen grain or the anther. That means here the stigma matures first and before or the earlier the pollen grain. Example is the ficus. And the second type is the protoandry, where the androecium or the stamen mature the stigma. So that condition is called as the protoandry. Naturally, both the conditions favors the cross-pollination. Then next type is the hercogamy, where in some bisexual flowers, the structure of anther and the style in a such a way that they mechanically they're impossible, or there is present a barrier between the stamens and the pistils. So in that condition, there is no chances of self-pollination, and cross-pollination favors here. The example is the Calotropis procera, in which the pollen grains are present in the pollinia. So naturally, the pollen grains are not transferred on the stigma of the same flower, and so there is need of some external agency to transfer this pollen grains from one flower to the another. So in that condition, cross-pollination occurs in that plant. Then heterostyly, there are some plants which bears the flowers of two different forms. One form bears the long stamen and short style, and second form bears the short style and long style. Here is the picture of this two types of form. The first picture shows the long style, and in the second picture it shows the short style and the long stamen. So in that condition, it also favors the cross-pollination. Example is the Primula vulgaris. So there are advantages of cross-pollination. Progeny shows enhanced vigor. Offsprings are more viable and resistant. There is possibility of getting new desirable characters. Yield of the crop can be maintained, and it helps in evolution. These advantages: pollination may be failed due to distance barrier, and there is need of some external agency for the pollination, more wastage of pollen, and it may be introduced some undesirable characters. So this is about the advantages and disadvantages of cross-pollination. Thank you. In the next video, we will we will discuss about the agency of the pollination.